Hello and welcome to PayEntry's Affordable Care Act presentation of employee coverage. This is part one of a two-video series. In this video, we will cover the basic setup of employee coverage. Before we get started, we just want to point out that the information in this presentation is an interpretation of some of the components of the Affordable Care Act. You should confirm this information and how it affects your organization with your legal advisor or ACA expert. The information discussed in these employee coverage videos pertains specifically to Parts 2 and 3 of the 1095-C form. On this slide, you will see that we have enlarged the 1095-C form to specifically look at Part 2 and Part 3. On the right-hand side is a screenshot of the coverage information in PayEntry. From the ACA Coverage detail screen, the first thing you see are the start and end dates. That information translates to the dates across the page on the 1095-C. Next is the offer of coverage. These are the codes that are loaded into line 14. The employee share is the amount for line 15. The employer relief are the codes that are loaded into line 16. And the last one is if the employee is enrolled in a self-insured plan. If no, there is no action to be taken. If yes, then you must include the covered individuals for that plan. To enter the coverage information, from the main menu, select Employee Information. From the employee list, select an employee. From the Employees Information tab, select ACA. And from the Employees ACA tab, select ACA Coverage. Let's take a moment here and discuss the dates for the coverage records. The ACA requirements indicate that the Employees 1095-C form display coverage information for the entire reporting year. This is regardless of whether the employee was employed for the entire year. Given this, I'm going to enter the start date of January 1st, 2015 and click Add. This will set up a new record for Jack for the entire year. From here, click Details. In the ACA detail screen, the start and end dates will default from the information from the previous screen. The next field then is the offer of coverage. If you click on the drop-down menu, you will see a list of valid codes for this field. At the end of this video, you will see a detailed list of all the codes. Plus, for the most updated list, please refer to the irs.gov website. For Jack, I'm going to pick 1B. This is the plan with MEC, or Minimum Essential Coverage, providing minimum value offered to employee only. Next is the employee share. Jack's company offered employee-only coverage at a cost to the employee of $100 per month. I'm going to click on the radio dial and enter $100. And then the next field is the employer relief. Again, this is a series of codes from the drop-down menu. These codes can also be reviewed at the end of the video. For Jack, I'm going to pick 2C, Employee Enrolled in Coverage Offered. And since Jack's company is not self-insured, I'm going to select No from the drop-down menu. This will give me all the information needed for Jack for January 1st through December 31st. And now I will click Save Changes. After saving the changes, you can select the current reporting year to see a snapshot of what Jack's 1095-C is going to look like for 2015. Please note that the amount for the employee share is visible because the code for the offer of coverage was 1B. This is a good time to stop and review some of the behind-the-scenes processes for the 1095-C form. As we know, line 14 is the offer of coverage. These are your 1 series codes. And line 15 is your employee share. However, whether the amount for the employee share appears on this line depends on what code is entered for the offer of coverage, line 14. For example, if the code for line 14 offer of coverage is a 1A, 1F, 1G, 1H, or 1I, then the amount for line 15 will appear blank. If, however, the code for line 14 offer of coverage is a 1B, 1C, 1D, or 1E, then line 15's employee share amount will display the amount entered. So that is why for Jack you can see the employee share is $100 because his code is 1B. Just for illustration purposes, I'm going to change his code to 1A, qualifying offer. I'm going to save the changes, and it will now refresh the 2015, and you can see that the amounts for employee share are blank. The following slides will contain a listing of all the valid codes for lines 14 and 16 of the 1095-C form. Please note that this recording was made in fall of 2015. For the most current listing, please refer to the irs.gov website. You can use the pause button on this recording at any time to read the slide. This concludes Pay Entry's Affordable Care Act Employee Coverage presentation. This was Part 1, the basic setup. Please make sure to watch Part 2, additional information. Also, as a reminder, if you are manually updating your employees' ACA information, the dates for your employee statuses as well as coverage records must cover the entire year.